So why do you grease your legs with baby oil in advance of meeting your future wife?
I just thought everybody did that. I got completely ready to go to the gym to hit on my wife. That means shower, hair, cologne, the whole thing at the gym. It's what we did here growing up in Chicago. It wasn't like anything that was not abnormal.
And she had no idea.
No clue.
How do you end up together when you don't kiss on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or even sixth date?
I don't know what my fear was with her making a move. I didn't even think she particularly liked me enough to...
So then why do you keep asking her out?
Well, the first date, I didn't hear her speak whatsoever. She was completely mute.
And there's decent age difference, and this was like
10
her
years, first date.
Meaningful time dating post-college, right? Something like that? Okay.
She used to go out with groups. And I was like, I love dating. I love going out on dates. With my wife, yeah, it was a slow burn. I would go out of town, I would come back, we would go out again. It was one of these things where, for whatever the reason, it didn't start off with like a hot, steamy kiss or whatnot. It was like, I was just trying to figure out where she stood. I remember calling her one night, she wasn't answering the phone, and I was like, is she out on another date or this, that, and the other thing? For whatever the reason, it was a slow burn.
What made you realize she was the one?
So Lana is, and again, completely opposite of me, grew up completely different than me. And I just think for me, it's the fact that Lana kind of brings out in me things that I never knew I could do or experience. She's like, I don't say a daredevil, but she's always pushing me to kind of live life and get more out of life than what I would expect from my own self.
Like, what are examples of that?
I mean, it could be as simple as going skiing. I never went really skiing before, and Lana took me skiing to Park City and, got me to go down, hills that I didn't think I could do. Also, just so unselfish. I mean, for her to kind of put up with this lifestyle, me not being there a lot, comedians have a certain, sometimes just for myself, I'm a little moody and whatnot. She's just always looking out for my best interest. And then vice versa, I think I kind of ground her in a way where, I give her some semblance of like just being a little, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. So I think it works out in both ways. Plus, her being a mother and what she's given our kids, I was always fearful that because I think I missed out on a lot of things because I grew up in a kind of a fearful, like, no, don't do that. And my kids are fearless, which is nice to see, and totally opposite of kind of what I grew up with. And she has given that to them.
What's it like having young kids as an older dad?
Oh, I think for me, if I had kids earlier in life, the amount of time and energy you need to give a child would have definitely maybe gotten in the way of doing stand-up, maybe not traveling as much. I mean, I feel like, between the ages of 28 and 44, I established my career and I did everything I possibly could to make my career better. With kids necessarily, I don't know if that would have happened. It might have, I don't know.
Like you either would have been a worse father to the kids or the ability to make it could have been put on the back burner.
Knowing me as responsible I am as a father, I would have definitely been more available for them at a younger age and maybe sacrifice some of the career. But now that where I am, I have the ability and fortunate enough to be with them if I want to be with them as much as I can be. So for me, I think, being an older father, a lot of wisdom comes with that. I felt like I lived a life prior to having them where I could definitely pass down some morsels of just being a full-rounded parent at this age. I think is very beneficial to me.
Because of the success that you've had, you can create endless opportunities for your children if you want. What is the balance between that and avoiding dampening motivation or not creating adversity?
Yeah, so that's been a huge thing that I've had to struggle with, is like, how do you give these kids some like grit and like work ethic when everything that they're witnessing is, we went to go see a hockey game and the seats were pretty fabulous, but I am making sure every time we do something like that, I'm telling them, and telling them is one thing, but then showing them is another. And I think showing them is through charity work, which I am getting myself more involved with, and I want to get my kids more involved in that. So
you have a foundation?
I have the foundation. I just did something with veterans. We fed 1,000 veterans in Los Angeles. They weren't a part of that because they had a school issue that they couldn't attend, but as more we get into that, I think showing them some of the misfortune that other people are having would give them a sense of like, it's not always roses. There's people in life that are suffering, and if they see some of that and have the ability to help, I think that definitely sends a message. But yeah, it's
It has to be super hard to figure out what that.
Again, it's the first time. It's like I can't go to anybody in my family and go, well, what did you do when this is new to me? It's new to everybody.